Hey there, for this video I wanted to show you how to make these little bales of hay. A lovely lady that I know suggested making these, and I thought it was a great suggestion because they're quick and easy to make. They look hyper realistic, which is always an added bonus, but they're also a great filler for dioramas. You know, you have an empty void and you want to fill it, and little stacks of hay are a great one for that. So I hope you find this tutorial useful, and I hope you enjoy the video. I'm just using some insulation foam for this. Just cut it roughly into slices. Don't worry too much about measuring it, because you just even everything back out when you sand it. And when you find you sand this foam, it will go down very quickly. So if you go measuring something exactly, you'll lose a lot of it if you're not careful. I just roughly put them to the size that I want them, and then I sand always because I'm using ink on the surface of this, and if you don't sand it, it will run straight off. You have to make it porous by doing this. I just put the ink into a jar so I could dip them in really quickly and easily. Just skewered it with a skewer. And then just dipped it in. This is so quick and easy, it was great. I just put them in a block of foam to dry. That's half your work done already. This is a really easy project, I liked it. Make sure when you dry these that they're thoroughly dry before you try to put any glue on them, because it won't adhere properly because the ink is water-based. This coconut fibre I got from the hardware store. You get it from a nursery or anywhere. And I just balled it up nice and tightly. And then I just cut it to the length that I wanted. You could cut this a little longer maybe to make straw bales, or shorter to make smaller bales altogether. I think the size of the bale you wanted to make would greatly depend on the length that you cut this fibre. Just make sure there's no long bits or lumps in it, and put some really nice thick water-based glue. It must be water-based or it will dissolve your foam. Put it nice and evenly to every part of the block, and then just keep dipping it. It seems like it's difficult to get it to adhere, but you just keep putting it on and sprinkling it on, and press it down, because when you press it down it makes it nice and flat. You want to keep the surface of this as flat as you can so you don't lose the sharp edges, otherwise it's going to turn into a rounded object which is going to look strange. You just start trimming the edges. Every time you do a side, trim it and keep, so you're basically keeping this shape. It seems a little strange to do this, but this is a corner you can't cut. That was some sort of weird irony in there, I know, but you need to do this, and then do another side, glue it, and then trim it, and keep repeating that. And then once you have it with multiple sides, you start trimming. It's like giving it a haircut. You just want to keep tidying it up so you can keep those edges. Just over and over and over. But it seems, tedious doing it like this. But if you're doing a whole bunch of these, you just sort of have a process line, and between gluing and cutting and everything, it's a pretty good process. You can really see now where I haven't trimmed it away and how messy it is. And you can imagine if you didn't trim as you went, the entire thing would be just a big furry looking mess. So it's, cut, glue, cut, glue. Those edges are nice. And now I'm going to paint it, which might seem a little strange, but it makes the world of difference. Just some yellow ochre and white acrylic paint, and I just sort of roughly but fairly lightly it's basically sort of sun kissing it with some highlights. When I thought of doing this, I realised that I had stumbled onto exactly what I needed to do to make these look realistic, because without the paint, they literally just look like square lumps of coconut fibre. So yeah, this is an important step. You can see the difference from the top there to the right side. Massive difference. And now just time to put the string on. I don't even know what it's called on a bale. Whoops. Probably should have Googled that. But anyway, I'm using twine for this, or string, or whatever it is. Just separate the strands. And once again, with some brown ink, I just dip them in the jar again. Let them dry on a piece of paper. And that was it. You could add a little black to the ink if you wanted to darken them up some more, or make them any colour you like, really. And then I used that nice thick glue again. It dries faster, it dries clear, and it's a good glue. Once again, I think Mod Podge would be probably the same. And then you just lay it over, let it dry, and then once it's dried, you can do the underside. It doesn't matter too much if the underside is a little untidy either, especially if you're going to be gluing the object down. So keep your best side up kind of thing. And that's it. Super easy. These are brilliant little fillers for dioramas, or even objects for dolls' houses, all sorts of stuff. They're so great and so easy. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you next time.